We're glad you're here. Thank you for choosing Athens State. After their first semester, we met with them in a focus group setting to hear how things went. We wanted to know what worked, what didn't work, how could we do things better. And we really got some good feedback from them. And we used a lot of that for this event and for going forward. And we plan to continue to solicit your feedback. We want this to work. We know that we serve a unique student. We serve a non-traditional student. You are a serious student. And we want to provide you with the tools and the support that you need to be successful in this graduate program. And so please don't hesitate to give any of us a call. You've met the folks that are here today that surround you and support you. During the information fair at lunch, you'll get to meet them personally. So we're very glad to have you. And I'd like to now introduce Athens State University President, Dr. Bob Glenn.
Morning. Now I'm going to apologize right off about my appearance. I'm a lot more casual than I normally would be. You may have just had a little mishap. I was in a conversation with Dr. Smith earlier this week, and I said, there's no way I'm getting up on Saturday morning. I said, you just can't twist my arm enough to get me out of bed. So right away you know you don't want to make her mad at you on purpose. We are very glad to have you here. We are delighted to have you here. We've been working for 8 years now to get to this point, and you are the culmination of those efforts. This institution has been here for nearly 200 years, but it's never stayed the same in that whole time. We've constantly been evolving, been changing, and been adapting to North Alabama to meet the needs. And we're glad that we've come to the point where now graduate education is going to be a permanent part of who we are and what we do. And you are always going to be the first to go through that process. So we're proud of you. We're excited about you being here. Now I want to be sure that we understand some things very clearly on the front end of things, because it's very important that you understand at least two things. The first is that we are invested in your success. Okay? I'd like all members of the faculty and staff that are here this morning to raise their hand just real quickly. As you can see, we almost outnumber you. And that's because this is a faculty and staff at an institution that is committed to helping you get to wherever you are. The mark of a great university is whether or not it can take any student from where they are to where they need to be. Okay? My faculty can probably say that in their sleep. I say that so often at various events. But I really do believe that. We are about helping you get to where you need to be. And we are vested in making sure that you are successful. And it's important that you remember that you are not ever going to be by yourself in this process. There's always going to be somebody who's going to be willing to help you. And the room is full of folks today. I do want to point out Dr. Joe DeLapp, who is right down here. He's our brand new provost. He's been here all of 6 weeks. And we're thinking about letting him stay another 6 weeks. Dr. DeLapp comes to us from Jacksonville State University, where he was the dean of the graduate college there. So he is invested in making the graduate programs here at the institution prosper and grow and do well. So you're going to meet faculty this morning. You're going to meet folks like our librarians, folks from our writing center. They are people who are here to help you do what you need to get done. And so you need to always be willing to take advantage of us. We do this on purpose. We come to work every day to be prepared to work with you and help you get to where you're going. But that brings us to the second thing. You have an obligation. Okay? You're not going to just get a degree by showing up. You're going to have to work at it. There's nothing easy about this. You can ask these 6 people over there, and they'll tell you it's tough. It requires a lot of work. You're going to have to do a lot of reading, a lot of writing. You're going to have to do some things you're not used to doing or haven't done in a long time. And you need to be prepared to put your mind to it and do the work and get it done. There's no easy way to do it. The difference between successful people and people who never get to where they're going are that the successful people are willing to do whatever is necessary. Okay? They're willing to sacrifice their immediate wants for their ultimate needs. So you need to be prepared to come in and work hard every day. And what you will find is that you will be working with the faculty that is committed to making this as positive an experience as it can be for you. And at any point in time that you need assistance, there's Jackie Smith over here, there's Joe DeLapp, Ron Fritzy back here in the back is the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Raise your hand, Ron, so they can see who you are. Dr. Kim Lefevre is right over here, the Dean of the College of Business. We are here to help you. We have an open door policy. Now, I also want to be clear about what an open door policy is. An open door policy means if you ever come to my office, my door will be open and I'll be glad to talk to you. It does not mean that I will erase policies that you haven't abided by, or that I will be able to wave a magic wand and make everything right. But that I will be there, that I will listen to you, and that I will help you get wherever you need to go. And the same thing is true with Jackie Smith, Joe DeLapp, Ron Fritzy, Kim Lefevre. We are here to help you do what you need to do. So we hope that you will take advantage of us. We hope that you will work with us. We are excited about having you here. This is a great day for the university, and I look forward to shaking your hand in 2 years or a year or however long it takes. And we've had folks, first commencement I was here, it was my privilege to give a degree to a man who was 83. We always have somebody in the graduating class who's been working at it damn near forever. We hope it won't take you that long, but however long it takes you, we will be here for you, we will work with you, we will be glad that you're here. So welcome to Athens State University, and have a great experience.
Okay, just a few housekeeping things. We have 2 short presentations this morning from Career Services. They are very active on campus. They exist to help you find a location or help you advance in where you are at work. So if you need help, Sarah Lynn Mitchell is going to come up and give a presentation, very brief, and then the librarians in the Writing Center are going to help you get a foundation for research and writing, a thing that everybody loves to do. So before we break, during lunch, we're going to have an information fair out here with all these offices that exist to support you. So we also have lunch for you. The people that aren't out here, that are here today to help you, are admissions, financial aid, and the advising folks. They're all working downstairs this morning on the first floor of this building. So if you have any outstanding issues that you need in that area, you can just go downstairs and there's somebody at that desk to help you. We also have a bookstore that's open today until 3 o'clock. If you need your books and you haven't gotten them yet, you go out this door and down the stairs, and they're right literally underneath this room. They're there to help you. The last thing I want to make you aware of is that security is here today, over in the little beige house, and I can take a group of you over there. We'll take you one by one if we need to. But they're here today to help you get your student ID card, okay? So if you haven't got that yet, we'll walk you over there, and you can get your student ID card, and then you'll be official. We have an hour during lunch to do all these things, or they'll be here afterwards. So just let us know if you need any of that. When we break for lunch, we're going to go out this door, and we'll lead you through, around, come through the cafeteria, and get your food, and come back in here and enjoy lunch and some fellowship. Sarah Lynn?
Good morning and welcome. My name is Sarah Lynn Mitchell, and I'm the Director of the Career Development Center and Counseling Services for the university. And I'm one of those resources that we want you to take advantage of. And I'm here today because I believe the sooner that you connect with us, the more we can help you. And that doesn't always happen that way, so I always try to be at one of those beginning sessions that we have so that you know that we're there for you. And I try to answer all of your questions and be available whenever you need me. So connect with us as soon as you can. We offer a variety of services, and those services are here to help you through your graduate career development process. And I'm going to share just a couple of the things that we do. And if you want to talk more with me after the session today, I have a table out here, and we can talk one-on-one at that time. We offer individual career advising. We know you're all on a journey, and you're all at different places on that journey. So career advising can come in a lot of different forms, and can contain a lot of different types of information. And so please set an appointment with us. You can email us, you can call us, or you can just drop by. We're upstairs in this building, and we're available every day. If you happen to have an opportunity for an interview, we're there to help you. We can practice with you one-on-one, or we actually have a webcam that you can use, and you can sit down and you can video yourself. And we can talk about that video and critique it, and maybe that will help you with being successful in your interview process. We also have internships and co-op opportunities, and right now we're working with employers on trying to identify more opportunities for our graduate students. So please contact us about that. Sometimes you just need some help with the job search process. You know, what do I need to do next? What should I be doing? That's another thing that we'll be glad to help you with. Every semester we also offer a variety of workshops and events, and those vary from employer sessions with some of the big employers in the area to having them on campus and having them talk to you specifically about their hiring process and what kind of individuals they're looking for. We also have workshops on resumes, cover letters, networking, how to network, how to be successful in networking situations, all of those kinds of things that might be important to you. So we have a calendar of events, and we'll also be glad to provide that for you today for this upcoming semester. I just want you to stay in touch with us. When we know more about you and we know who you are, we can do more for you. So stay in touch with us and set an appointment soon. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks so much, Sarah Lynn. She's a great resource for you all. My name is Dr. Joy Bracewell. I'm the Writing Center Director. So I'm going to multitask a little bit and load my presentation while the librarians introduce themselves.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer Williams. I am one of the librarians. The library, if you don't know where it is yet, is just across the street over here. It's the big building that kind of looks like a courthouse with the cupola on top. We are not actually going to talk to you very long right here because myself and Mary Quilla here are the business liaisons for the library. Mr. Del O'Neill, back in the back, is the liaison to the College of Arts and Sciences. So we're going to, when we split up after lunch into our different degree programs, we're going to talk to you in more detail there so that we can really be specific about what we're telling you about what we offer for your program. Okay? We just wanted to introduce ourselves and say hello and welcome. Thank you.
Welcome again. If you all look in your bags, there's a infographic on plagiarism, and actually Jennifer Williams, who is a librarian that just introduced herself, made us aware of that. And it also has a card with the Writing Center information on it. So that infographic is a little bit overwhelming, and it talks about plagiarism. But the nice thing about it is it's very visual. So I put that in your folders to remind you that as emerging scholars, experts, practitioners in your disciplines, your graduate studies are taking you to another level of care for the work of others. So make sure you kind of refamiliarize yourself with those rules and use that as a handy go-to when you have questions about that type of thing. And of course, your professors are going to be your first resources, but the librarians and myself and the Writing Center consultants are your other support services. We're the people who aren't necessarily grading you, and that's nice because you can ask those questions of us that might feel a little more awkward. Even though your professors are there to help you, sometimes it's just easier to ask us. So here is a picture of some of the consultants in the hallway behind you. Dalton is going to be sitting there. So if you want to go ahead and sign up for an account, it's super easy to register. He can show you that. And I recommend that you go ahead and do that while you're here. So, just because you go and sign up for an account doesn't mean that you're obligated to use the Writing Center, but you know it's there if you need it, and it's free. So I just want to, again, refresh you and sort of reorient you to, some expectations for graduate level work. So you're going to be expected to have an increased depth and breadth in your research and evidence. The librarians are going to help you with that. You're going to be expected to have a more comprehensive understanding of your subject and all the things that go with that. Again, your professors and the librarians. And the Writing Center is probably where the third part of this comes in, the presentation of your work in a professional, scholarly writing style. Okay, so again, just a brief overview, sort of refresher. What does that exactly mean? How can you understand what professional writing is in your discipline? Again, your professors are your number one resource for this, but here are some other things that you may want to think about on your own. What are the journals in your field of study? What do they look like? How often are they published? What style guides are used in your field? And then for yourself in your own individual journey on this graduate path, how are you going to organize your research and writing process? What have your practices been in the past? How have they served you? And how might you need to retool those now for graduate studies? A reminder again that you need to use evidence effectively, introduce your sources, integrate your sources, and then explain what they're doing in your work, in your writing. Scholarly voice, again, a reminder, it's not, it doesn't have slang, biased language, contractions, or second-person pronouns. You is inappropriate most of the time. Use clear and direct statements. So don't try to use jargon or go to the thesaurus to make it sound better. Try to use the terms in your field, which may tend towards jargon, but don't use a word just because it sounds more complex. And going along with that, develop a repertoire of vocabulary relevant to your field. What are the terms that people use in your field? How do they use them? And how are you going to incorporate them in your writing and your communication? Okay, so here's that infographic. Again, plagiarism, avoiding plagiarism, entering your field as a scholar, that scholarly conversation where you're giving people credit and showing how you're using others' ideas and how they're fitting in. And each discipline is going to be different with how they treat that, but it's a basic idea to graduate work that's underlying it all. Who's heard of the Purdue OWL? I know Dr. Jack has. Okay, so a lot of you and most of you have. If you haven't looked at it lately, or if you haven't heard of it, this is going to be a great resource for you. It's so nicely searchable. It's got so many pages full of pages upon pages, and it's free. So remember to use a Purdue OWL for your go-to for your citations and also writing tips as well. And I have that picture of Safe Assign there because your Blackboard has an installation of that checks the percentage of your words and phrases that come from other sources. So that needs a human interpreter. So your professors would interpret those findings. But if you ask them, and also Dr. Mark Gale runs Blackboard here, and he can be a contact for this, or myself, if you would like somehow to be able to run your work through to make sure that you don't have too much of others' work in it, or you just want to see what it looks like, that's an option for you to check yourself. So keep calm and avoid plagiarism. And how do you do that? You do that by having those good practices in your research and note-taking process from the very beginning, and asking questions and seeking help. And again, your professors are your first go-tos there, but the rest of us are here to support you with that. So something to remember, graduate study involves more reading, it's more intense. So how are you going to assimilate that reading into all of the rest of your life? So some reminders and tips here. Survey and gather the info necessary to formulate your goals for a particular reading. Is this going to be something that you're going to write in depth on or that you're going to present on? Or is this a minor concept that, is important to know, but you don't need to know in depth? When you're looking at a book, an ebook, or a physical book, notice the formatting, how long something is, the font, graphics. Kind of give yourself a minute to familiarize yourself with the length of the piece and what its purpose is by just shuffling through and looking through the subheadings and the headings. And then engage with the reading before you start by formulating a few questions based on your survey of the material. What do you not know about it? You are engaging with that, so give yourself a chance to do that. And studies have shown that if you write longhand, it does tend to process better in your brain than actually typing. So you might want to balance that with, the shortcuts that typing does give you in terms of having that there to search and having in your computer and nicely organized. And then read. So that's just to say, give yourself time to plan at all stages, including just reading an article. And planning can mean 1 to 2 minutes. It's really, really valuable. Keep your questions in mind and look for the answers so that you're engaging at your comprehension level with this text, and annotate for yourself. And then at the end, give yourself that extra minute, 5 minutes to think about what you've read, write a summary. So the thing about reading a lot is that it piles up quickly and it can get confusing quickly. So the antidote for that is to be organized from the beginning and take notes for yourself and organize them well from the beginning so that, on that hopeless, helpless night, you'll never ever feel that way, ever. You'll always just be ready to go. But if you ever get to that place where you're like, I didn't read that, I don't feel like I can do this, if you already laid that groundwork for yourself, you can look back and say, hey, I actually did read this. I don't remember it, off the top of my head, but wow, I actually wrote 2 paragraphs there. Wow, this is actually coming back to me. I can use this and go forward. So that way your work, when you first encounter a text and then you reread it and so forth, it's going towards your later work using that piece for whatever purpose, presentation, writing, whatever. So just to reiterate the Writing Center services to you all, we have face-to-face tutoring in the library, which is across the street. So if you want to go talk to your librarian, if you happen to be on campus one day, you're spending all day on campus to check in with your professor or something, you can come over there, check in with the librarians, turn right and come to the Writing Center. And this doesn't have to be a heavy-duty session. You can just come in and sort of talk through your brainstorming process. You can be about to turn in a paper and really want somebody to help you with the organization of it or something like that, but it doesn't have to be something that's a super serious process. I know graduate studies means you don't have much time, but know that we're there to help talk you through even minor things with your writing. So some things we can help you with to keep in mind: language usage, document format, attributing sources. And another thing to keep in mind with that time management, the more intensive studies you're taking on is the fact that writing is a process, and it's easy to underestimate how long it takes, because you have to think about all those times you have to sit there and think about a sentence for a good 3 minutes. No, that doesn't happen to you. That only happens to me. But seriously, writing takes a while, so give it the time that it might take you so that you can go back and revise and it won't be frustrating for you. Another thing to keep in mind that we can help you with is keeping your eye on the prize with higher order concerns, and also helping you recognize any sort of lower level issues that might be going on, but not letting them take over the purpose of your writing. So a lot of times it's the blank screen mentality. It's just that sort of overwhelming pressure of, oh wow, this is my first graduate class, my first graduate paper, and my first blanking graduate screen with nothing there. How do I start, Well, do something. Write something, right? I mean, if you've taken notes on your research, you can go back and reread and sort of get yourself kind of juiced up that way. And then you can start outlining or just writing down ideas. You can always revise, you know, if it looks bad to begin with, that's fine, it's something, and you can go revise it later. So just 2 reminders, a summary there. Schedule time for the writing process, and the Writing Center can help you with that. And prioritize and identify your higher order concerns, your thesis, your purpose, your organization, before you get too detailed into fixing those lower level concerns. And you can do that better if you start earlier in your writing. That is, start writing well before your deadlines. I'm going to see if the sound works here. Okay, it doesn't.
One second, get the sound part over here.
Oh, that's okay. It's not gonna be- So this is a nice PowerPoint that's a consultant put together for us that just kind of goes over some of the things that we do. Joel, and thanks for being patient with that. So this is what our homepage looks like. You can Google Athens State Writing Center, or you can go to the Athens State homepage here and go under library, or you can go under okay, well, my mouse is going haywire up here, but you can Google Athens State Writing Center, or on the page as it usually shows up, there's a library tab, and you can go and search through that. So just to let you know, Dalton's here. He can sign you up, register you for the Writing Center if you'd like to get registered. And otherwise, I hope that this was a good refresher for the kinds of things that are going to help you in your journey here in terms of writing and the resources available. All right, thanks.